Hi, my name's Kyle Whiting, and I've created a new term called expressive mathematics. Expressive mathematics is using mathematical ideas and concepts to express ideas. That's the idea. The reason I created this um, terminology is because I recognize that there is a big disconnect between the mathematics that we use on a regular basis and how that translates to actual practical skills that we use and leverage on a regular basis every day. Um, and what I've found is that mathematics is everywhere. Like, quite literally, it's in everything we do. It's heavily shaped our culture, it's heavily shaped the things that we choose to do. It's everywhere. A really clear cut example is artists leverage mathematical concepts to help them tell perspective stories. Perspective is a mathematical process. It's very rigorously defined. It's very clearly laid out. We have perspective geometry that you can play with, and like you can try different things and you can explore different things, right? Illustrators and animators also have what's called shape language, where certain shapes have a feel to them, and like a triangle has sharp, pointy edges, right? So those are more likely to appear in like an enemy or somebody that's a little more edgy, like they're gonna do something. and and then when you round the corner, it softens it up and it makes it more almost like, hey, I'm a good friend and I've got like a friendly kind of vibe. It's geometry clearly explores shapes, right? Why doesn't geometry explore these kind of shapes? Well, it could. We just haven't formally defined and rigorously defined that. And so, but it's not just in art. This shows up everywhere. Dancers will count to keep on pace, right? So their choreography is based on basically a 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, right? And then after you count how many of those you have, which is just multiples, right? So 1 2 3, 1 2 3, and then you're keeping track. Okay, that's the first one, that's the second one, that's the third one. And as they're doing this, they're like doing these abstract movements that are really cool to watch and really fun to see, and we do this so naturally. Like, mathematics doesn't have to be complicated. um and in fact, like video games, so many people love video games and they play them almost every single day. The hardcore gamers definitely. The ones that are more casual, maybe not as frequently, but they play them and they play them regularly. But video games are just mathematical playgrounds. That's what they are. The thing I want to focus on for just a minute is, if if mathematics were easy, right? Would you still consider it mathematics? Would it still be mathematics to you if it was like, oh yeah, cool, no problem, I got this down? Um, my guess is probably not, because like there's this thing in society where we just kind of, it's like, hey, you nailed that mathematical idea, that mathematical concept, but because it wasn't a complicated mathematical process or a mathematical concept, it was just like, that doesn't matter. Like, what? Why would I be so excited about being able to count to 4 quadrillion? Why would that be a fascinating thing? And it's like, well, I mean, that's pretty cool that you can count that high, that the sequence of phrases and the sequence of sounds to be able to audibly or um, visually express those ideas kind of throughout, right? It's a really fascinating idea, and it's something we just don't take the time to really explore. And I think that's really tragic, because you're probably better at mathematics than you realize, but you just don't know when you're doing math. And a lot of video games, all video games, require mathematics to function. Most video games have a core element that is based in a mathematical idea or a concept. So the expressive part here is just indicating that we're trying to loosen the strands of rigor in mathematics. We're trying to just kind of let go of that like intense rigorous structure for something a little more pliable, a little more you can express, right? It's more fluid, right? It's not as strict or clearly defined. It can be a little more interpretive. So it's think of it like we're trying to find things that maybe aren't mathematics, but they're mathematics ish, right? They have this like feel of mathematics. So mathematics is a really powerful concept. It's a really powerful thing, but we focus so heavily on the rigor side of mathematics that what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to kind of loosen those bands a little bit so we can ask the question, this feels mathematic-ish, like maybe this could be mathematics, but it just hasn't been formally defined, right? Yeah, come along, and I hope you enjoy the journey. And if you find anything particularly interesting, let me know. Or if there's any specific subject that you'd like me to dive into, let me know as well, and I can take a closer look at those, and we can dive in a bit deeper. But